And it is indeed a great pleasure, and also, let me say, it is also an honor for me and for all of us today that Madam N.Kalaiselvi, who is the Director General of CSIR and also Secretary DSIR, Government of India, has very kindly agreed to deliver a talk on how CSIR and ICAR can work together. We have been discussing on this particular topic for quite some time in various occasions, including the one which was chaired by Honorable Prime Minister. And again, in that meeting, Honorable Prime Minister suggested to both of us, rather, that CSIR as well as ICAR should be working very closely. And it is not that we are not working closely. We are working for some time, but there is a time, this is a time rather, that we need to strengthen our collaborations. So we should identify some of the focused areas where we will be collaborating from the beginning, not at any point or maybe at the end of some time. No, let us start thinking together. Let us plan it together. Let us execute together so that it really becomes a fruitful and impactful collaboration. And that's what we are looking forward. So, Madam, thank you very much to you, and through you to your organization also, CSIR, one of the most prestigious organizations, not only of our country, but also for all of the world. You know about ICAR, so I'm not going to talk about much on that. But friends, for your information, I'm sure most of you know Madam, but then let me tell you very briefly about her. Of course, as I said, she is currently the Director General of CSIR and also Secretary of DSIR, and she is the first woman Director General of this very prestigious organization, so reputed organization. So, Madam, congratulations from ICAR side and from their side.
Thank you very much, Ji. Thank you very much.
Friends, Madam obtained her bachelor's degree in chemistry from Government Arts College, Tirunelveli, affiliated to Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai. She obtained her postgraduate degree in chemistry again from Government Arts College, Coimbatore, and did her PhD from Annamala University, Chidambaram. So all of these are very, very popular and very, very famous organizations. She has got more than 25 years of experience, primarily focused on electrochemical power systems, and in particular, development of electrode materials, custom design synthesis methods, optimization of reaction parameters, and electrochemical evaluation of in-house prepared electrode materials for their suitability in energy storage device assembly. So these are very, very important areas of her research. She has got a large number of publications, not to mention more than 150 or so, and also 6 patents are there to her credit. And under her guidance, 12 research scholars have already received their PhD degrees, and few are already working with her. She is recipient of many prestigious awards, including MRSI Medal, CSIR Raman Research Fellowship, INSA NRF Exchange Award, Brain Pool Fellowship of Korea, the Most Inspiring Women Scientist Award, and C.V. Raman Mahila Vigyan Puraskar at 12th National Women Science Congress, which was held at Mysore. There are many other things to talk about her, but I'm not going to elaborate, and I'm not going to stand between Madam and our audience from Indian Council of Agriculture Research. But once again, Madam, thank you very much for kindly agreeing to my request and delivering this talk to our scientists. And I'm sure with this talk, CSIR and ICAR collaboration is going to get a new speed, a new direction in times to come. So thank you very much. And now I request Madam you to make the presentation, please. Over to you, Madam.
Sure. Namaskar and Vanakkam. First of all, thank you very much to Dr. Himanshu for your magnanimous way of introducing me and asking me and giving me a platform wherein I can really share the thoughts of CSIR, that what are the areas in which both of us, like from CSIR and ICAR, can really travel together in the coming days. You can upload the slide. So friends, we all know that we are living in a very important era wherein the topmost leadership from the country, the Honorable Prime Minister, as well as the Minister for Science and Technology, both of them unanimously asked us, and they have made us to realize that during this Amrita Kal, we have to now escalate ourselves, and we have to leverage our capabilities and the knowledge base to best suit it for its requirements and value addition and augmentation in terms of India at 2047. So when the country is going to celebrate the 100th Independence Day in the year 2047, by that time, this country should have really reached a position, or I would say leadership position, and that should have been already appreciated and accepted globally by every other nation. So for which these few years, next few years or next few decades are very, very important. And when we are just planning for a long time, I think it's always better to just plan it, maybe short term, mid term, and long term. So if you just consider the short term, I would say next 7 years, that is up to 2030, we have to, in 2030 is an interim period. Therefore, next 7 years, we have to work with a totally different kind of a spirit, different kind of energy, different kind of dedication also, I would say. If at all we work with that kind of involvement, definitely in the year 2030, we will come up with a lot of success stories, and country also will start believing both ICAR as well as CSIR and our collaboration. Why I'm talking about this ICAR collaboration with a lot of importance is you can live without anything and everything, but not without food. And therefore, and moreover, India is a country which is an agriculture based country. And therefore, the basic strength is nothing but agriculture. And therefore, it is of all the collaborations, I really, really consider and respect that the collaboration of CSIR and ICAR is much more important than any other collaborations, because only after food other things will come into picture. And therefore, you and me, whenever I say you and me, it is CSIR and ICAR. So we both should really work with synergy. Who is doing what is not an important matter, but what is it that we are going to do in the next 7 years is going to make a lot of changes, visible changes in the country, by means of which we can win over the confidence of the country, the leadership and the common citizen, as well as the industry and the technology and the society, so that from 2030, we can very easily travel towards 2047. So this is the idea with which myself from CSIR, I started approaching different secretaries for possible collaboration. And I should really place on record my sincere thanks and appreciations and congratulations to Dr. Himanshu. The moment I just came out with this kind of an idea, he said, ma'am, I have something else which is bigger than what you are talking about. So I'll give you the entire platform of my team to you, so that instead of one secretary talking to another secretary, like one-to-one discussion, you can make my entire family to understand that what is it that you from CSIR is expecting from the other side, that is ICAR family. So once again, Himanshu ji, big thanks and my salutes to you. Without your involvement and interest, this today's event will not, it will not happen at all. And therefore, with this kind of grateful words and thankful words to Dr. Himanshu, I will now jump into that. What is it that CSIR and ICAR can collaborate in terms of aspirations as well as action plan? So friends, if you just see the kind of the time of establishment of both the organizations, again, we normally proudly say that CSIR is even elder to the independent India. So we are 5 years elder to independent India, whereas you guys are much more elder to CSIR, and therefore like a big brother, now we are fondly shaking our hands with you, because you got yourself established in the year 1929. And therefore, when we are shaking hands with the elder brother, I think the confidence will go up, which is applicable here also. And very recently, CSIR came up with the tagline, so that you can see that CSIR, we want ourselves to be identified as the innovation engine of India. Therefore, the innovation, that story starts from ICAR, especially through today's meeting. So if you just ask about what are the collaborations which are already in place, the existing collaborations, because both of us are not strangers. Both of us are not going to talk about some kind of a collaboration or working together or some common working groups. Nothing is going to be new. As rightly mentioned by Dr. Himanshu, it is the time wherein we have to work with a different kind of energy on very important, nationally important prioritized areas with a different kind of a commitment. So that is why I'm just going to share few other slides with you today. So we already executed an MOU on 25th of February 2019, meaning is 3 years back. Already we have signed an MOU, and with that MOU now we have number of collaborations starting from Cotton Mission, and of course with an aim of improving the varieties of medicinal, aromatic and floriculture plants. We are now have Phytopharmaceutical Mission, Aroma Mission, Floriculture Mission and Seaweed Mission. So these are the areas in which we are already collaborating with each other. Now coming to the other very important tripartite MOU. So first one was between ICAR and CSIR only. Then we already had another expanded version of CSIR, ICAR and Ayush also. Again, my sincere thanks are due to Dr. Sheikh Mande, who was the then DG, and he was instrumental in coming up with this kind of MOUs signed. So this MOU was signed on 8th March 2022. And here we came up with a kind of an understanding that we will be facilitating R&D, we will be validating and we will deploy technologies related to medicinal plants, because Ayush is known for its medicinal plant related research as well as products. And therefore, this was the content of that tripartite MOU. Now, friends, whatever I'm giving in red color, that is much more important, because TKDL and ICAR, TKDL from CSIR and ICAR now should plan very strongly for new agri projects with Ayush support. So this is what we have to now plan for the year 2023. Why? Because some projects could be funded by even Ayush. Therefore, those projects should be designed and developed in such a way that TKDL and ICAR are going to really meet with the visionary, or I would say the dream projects or the wish lists of Ayush. So first we have to get the wish list from Ayush Ministry. From there, we have to identify what are the areas in which we both can join hands, and we can get some financial support from Ayush, and we both should work as a working partner. So this is what is the idea from this particular slide. Now coming to the next one is, already CSIR made history with respect to hing. So when we talk about this making of history with hing, one of our institutes, that is IHBT in the Himachal Pradesh, they raised the plants of hing at 3 different places like Ribling, Laul and Spiti, with ICAR's involvement. So you from ICAR, NBPG are only helped us in obtaining the seeds from Iran. So now CSIR has started working and we started cultivating the hing, and we are able to produce the history by having your help at the background. Okay, you can stop that one also. So now my plan is, we should come up with India specific varieties now, because we already got the seeds from Iran. Now we have to come up with the India specific varieties. Therefore, both the teams from ICAR and CSIR should identify what are the India specific varieties which are to be identified. We have to prioritize, and we have to take up these products or these plants as a prioritized areas for the year 2023. Why I'm talking about this Jammu and Kashmir, Leh and Ladakh is, you may be knowing that we have one lab called IIIM Jammu. So this IIIM Jammu is having really some amount of land which could be utilized for cultivation, especially in Leh and Ladakh. Also the land is there. We have not fully utilized the land which is available there. And therefore what I'm thinking is, if at all you and me, we are able to identify that these are the India specific varieties, this is the requirement of Indian community, and therefore we have to raise few plants and few products. If at all we are able to identify, prioritize and take up as a project, Definitely the land which is available in Leh and Ladakh, which is pertinent to AAAM Jammu, could be utilized for that purpose. So both of us can work towards that direction also. So now coming to farm machinery, again, we are not sticking on ourselves only with the agri and farm related products, but also to the machinery for its design, development and commercialization also. So all of you might be aware of CSIR Sonalika story, as well as the green revolution, which was made possible because of the Sonalika. And this farm machinery and its testing center is available in another CSIR lab, which we call it as a Mechanical Engineering Research Institute in Durgapur, CMERA Durgapur. So this is a center which is already approved by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Now, two things we can think about. One is smart agri farm machinery, which should be taken up with extra care. Of course, we are working on some areas, but I want much more importance to be paid from both the ends, so that smart agri related farm machinery should be designed, developed, and they also should be commercialized in the coming days. So few examples I can give you. Tea leaf plucker has already been developed by CMERA, and now they are in the process of cotton ball picking mission also. So these two things are to be popularized also. Like the way Sonalika is made popular, it was made popular a long time back. Now we have to popularize this tea leaf plucker as well as this cotton ball picking machine. So wherever we want this kind of a popularization of the product, I think definitely you and you alone can really help us. So that is number one. And apart from that, you may also come up with a kind of a wish list, because today I'm sharing my wish list. You can also share back your wish list. So wherein we can arrive at the smart agri related farm machinery, wherein we find this overlapping interests. And friends, this is another interesting slide. As all of you know, this year is the International Year of Millets, and therefore we have to do some extra justice to millets. So the project kind of technological intervention and analytical assessment for utilization of millets, which is already going on through a collaborative project between CFTRA, that is Food and Technology Research Institute in Mysuru, and your ICAR-IIMR, both are now already working, and the funding is given by APIDA. This is an ongoing project. But apart from this one, this is the only project, to the best of my knowledge is concerned, is going on with respect to millets. But this year being the special year of millets, now we find enormous opportunities to improve, enhance our collaboration in millets related research. Therefore, I strongly suggest ICAR and CFTRA, meaning is from CSIR family, I'm suggesting CFTRA. Of course, you can involve IITR also. IITR from Lucknow, they are also working on some amount of millets. And NIST Thiruvananthapuram is also working on some amount of some varieties of millets. Therefore, initially what I thought was I can just nominate CFTRA as a nodal lab. So ICAR and CFTRA, you can have a dedicated meeting. You can arrange for a brainstorming, maybe for a half a day or a full day. That brainstorming could be arranged in a very structured brainstorming, so that we will be able to design towards the end of that brainstorming session of that day. End of the day, both the organizations, both the councils like ICAR and CSIR should be in a position to design nationally important projects for immediate implementation with effect from 2023. Again, thanks to Himanshu ji, because you also touched upon this point. Whatever we have done or whatever are ongoing is one set. But what is it that we are going to initiate from today onwards? That is much more important. And therefore, this is one such area we have to think about very strongly. Now, apart from doing all these things like some new cultivation, some new machinery, then something related to millets because of the year, then the very important thing is all these points and all these capabilities, technologies, and skill sets are to be disseminated with the different age groups of this nation. And therefore, skill development program is the right channel by means of which you can touch upon the different age group, I would say technical skill set holding citizens. And therefore, you and me, both the councils, can really get ourselves some kind of a visible popularity for our science and technology. So for which one thing is we can think about skill development programs on post-harvest processing of ginger, turmeric, because simply I have given only 3 labs like NEAST, IHBT NEAST to Johet, IHBT Palampur, IIIM Jammu. These are the 3 labs I have given. Apart from this, I have another 3 or 4 labs who are working on post-harvest processing of different products. So already we are doing some amount of skill development programs from these labs, especially in terms of post-harvest processing. Of course, we are offering skill development programs in terms of design, development, and testing of agricultural machinery. So whatever photograph you are seeing on the right-hand side, it is nothing but the hands-on training which was offered by CMERA Durgapur, especially on the design, development, and testing of agricultural machinery with industry approach. So this has been already completed in July 2022. But now I'm thinking like ICAR can really identify some areas, and you yourself can get applications, or you yourself can really get the attention of participants for skill development program. You can channelize them all to CSIR so that both of us will get a win-win situation by way of reaching the different age group of Indian citizens. So ICAR can really come up with a kind of a module or some kind of a title, or with a kind of a set of skill development groups, meaning is those who require skill development training. So you can just send the participants to CSIR so that we will be able to really come up with a kind of offering of training to the groups which are getting recommended by ICAR. So you may make recommendations and we will give the skill development training. So this is another idea which is coming to my mind. Now, other very important thing is, now whatever we are talking about, there are 2-3 points which are the buzzwords, I would say. So you are talking about smart agriculture. Now we have to talk about precision agriculture also. So in the case of precision agriculture, already we have a joint working group, both from CSIR and the ICAR. So both the councils, we already have a joint working group. Actually, this project is driven by 4PI, again, a Fourth Paradigm Institute of Bangalore, another CSIR lab, wherein this AI and ML related, I would say, infrastructure is available. And they are able to lead number of AI and ML driven projects. And this is one such project by means of which we are now developing a dynamic model to design the intervention strategies by means of which the quality as well as the quantity of the food products could be improved. So this is already ongoing. But when you just see the boxes which are found on the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the middle of the figure, you can see very interesting points like the socioeconomic model, the crop model. All these things could be scientifically touched upon. But still, I feel that one thing is missing is waste to wealth. So waste to wealth, I did not find any box. Therefore, I think we have to think about it. That is number one. And second thing is, in the case of soil health also, I don't think much work or much thought has been given. Therefore, like both the councils now, we can take these 2 titles as our immediate titles of interest. One is how best the soil health of this nation could be protected and augmented. That we can take it as one title. And second one is agri-based waste to wealth. So these are the 2 projects which both the councils can now start thinking in a big way. Because when the government of India and the Honorable Prime Minister is talking about One Health, normally they talk about the human health and animal health and the related things. But in CSIR, we just came up with a kind of a definition that this One Health, it involves human health, animal health, plant health, soil health, and data health also. So, and yesterday even I just asked them to include structural health of structures also. So this is how 5 or 6 fold dimensions we are coming up with a kind of a definition for One Health. And therefore, the portion of soil health, we just want to work with ICAR. Similarly, agri-related waste to wealth, I think you are the destination. And therefore, we both councils can really come up with new projects under these two titles. Now, coming to Aroma Mission again, it is a very great, I would say this is helping us to come up with a number of success stories, because Purple Revolution, Golden Revolution, all these things are known to almost every Indian citizen right at this point of time, because this Golden Revolution in Himachal Pradesh is that has also increased the farmers' income, because the Honorable Prime Minister every time says that farmers' income should be doubled. So keeping that particular point in mind, we started working on Purple Revolution and Golden Revolution, and especially the lemongrass oil that gave us maybe I would say extended success. We did not even succeed in cultivating the lemongrass, but this post-harvesting machinery and related processing that helped us to come up with the successful extraction of lemongrass essential oil. And maybe 2 years back, India was depending upon other countries, because we were only importing lemongrass oil. But it was last year we made history that India exported 600 tons of lemongrass oil. So that export became possible just because of this Aroma Mission. So here again, thanks are due to ICAR. Even though in the MOU between ICAR and CSIR, we have told that we have to make use of the KVKs to the maximum possible extent. I think this is the time where we have to strongly think about how best we can implement the Aroma Mission related leads as well as the benefits through KVKs. I think this is where we have to think about. Of course, every time our the registration certificate is always being helped by ICAR. Once again, big thanks to you. And the second very successful mission from CSIR is the Floriculture Mission. As all of you know, we are coming up with the indigenous development of tulip bulb, because again, we were depending upon other countries only. But for the first time now, through the Floriculture Mission, India is capable of coming up with the development of tulip bulb. And first time the lilium flowers were also brought to Delhi from Leh. So these are the few, I would say, history-making things through the science and technology-related developments. We are now in the process of domestication of indigenous wild ornamental also. When we are getting ourselves involved in all these kinds of indigenization, of course, ICAR, the Directorate of Floriculture Research, similarly, your Indian Agricultural Research Institute, you both are really helping us in terms of registration of whatever varieties, number of varieties which are getting developed by CSIR. I think already you have helped us in getting the registration completed with a minimum of 12 varieties. And of course, we will be coming up with more number of varieties in the coming days also. But at the same time, we wish to listen from you that what are the different varieties which require promotion of that particular variety. If at all you make us understand that these are the varieties which are to be promoted in the interest of the nation, we will be able to expand and extend our activities in the coming days. Therefore, I think this is high time. Again, both the councils should start talking to each other and what are the new varieties which could be touched upon. And similarly, with respect to when we talk about the floriculture, again, honey and related products are getting importance. Here also, we want KVIC, their involvement, their collaboration, and their deep dive discussions with us, by means of which KVIC, ICAR, and CSIR, we can come up with a number of success stories in the coming days. And friends, this is again with respect to rice, rightly mentioned by again Himanshu Pathakji. In the month of October, we had the CSR Society meeting, which was presided by the Honorable Prime Minister of this country. So at that time, Honorable Prime Minister came up with a list of products which are to be really worked on by both the councils. So he started with rice. So because I only showed this improved Samba Masuri. So this is a bacterial blight resistance as well as low glycemic index rice. We are working on this particular variety of improved Samba Masuri. already your institute, that is IIRR from Hyderabad, is really helping us in this case. And if at all you just consider the total value of the ISM produced in the past 1 to 2 years, it is estimated to be around 8,650 crores, because this projection is based on an independent assessment study only. It is not the projection of CSIR. But so it is very interesting for us that the glycemic index is reduced. Its value is 50.99 only. Again, ICMR only helped us to come up with this kind of a GI value estimation. And therefore, you and me, meaning is both the councils, can think about how best we can come up with improved rice varieties, including fortified rice in the coming days. And this is again Seaweed Mission. This is a very, very interesting mission. So very casually, I would say, or maybe with a little dream, CSIR started this seaweed cultivation. But now it has taken its shape as a big seaweed mission, and we are able to come up with the seaweed biostimulants also. You can see a number of 43 centers across this country. Seaweed Mission is a very, very popular mission of CSIR. So we are able to touch upon the different sectors and different areas of this country through the Seaweed Mission. So especially the Gulf of Mannar, it is going to be explored for its fullest potential, wherein we are trying to make a commercial farming of Capaphycus. So that is under progress. And of course, we will come up with a kind of a zero liquid discharge downstream process also, so that we can really attract industries. Even though 1 or 2 private companies, startups, they already started making good amount of money because of this technology transfer from CSRCSIR, Bhavanagar, Salt and Marine Related Research Institute, which is situated in Bhavanagar, Gujarat. Their extension center is near Gulf of Mannar, the place called Mandapam, near Ramanathapuram in Tamil Nadu. So that is where this seaweed cultivation is happening. And now we are going to augment it also. We are trying to make it as a full-fledged commercial farming. Here again, even though we are working with a number of ICAR institutions, we wish to strengthen it further. And you may also help us to really come up with some kind of new and innovative products in the coming days. Now, coming to societal and skill development, again, this is something related to the Odisha government-driven RKVY program. Even in that skill development program, along with 5 CSIR institutions, a minimum of 5 ICAR institutions, already you worked so closely with us. And of course, we extend our maybe a relationship with ICMR and DBT also in offering this societal and skill development initiatives of the government of Orissa initiated RKVY program. We have to identify, this is one model I'm just showing. This model should be expanded and it should be replicated in other states as well as in other aspirational districts also, for which CSIR will be looking forward a great deal of collaboration from ICAR. Now, friends, when you talk about the cotton mission again, if you just see maybe in a superficially, of course, we are coming up with the whitefly tolerant cotton. We are coming up with the gourd cotton. Gourd cotton is very interesting because simply by way of planting the cotton, maybe among the papaya and tomato, they are also growing very well because they are getting themselves protected from the insect bite. And therefore, that is why we are naming it as gourd cotton. It is really safeguarding the other variety also. Similarly, this pink bollworm tolerant cotton is another new variety. So in all these cases, we have already started realizing some amount of success, but I think we have to come up with much more innovations and new interesting products, which will be finding their applications to the society in a big way. So if you just see the cotton mission, as I already told, these are, I just wanted to show you some pictures by means of which you will be able to think about it. And I'm just making a mention of few varieties also. So here CSIR is coming up with the success story on GM cotton. So when we are coming up with the GM products, we need more strength. both for its science as well as for its technology and its acceptance. So we have to work much more closer, by means of which we can come up with the not only with the whitefly resistant or modified cotton with the tolerance to whitefly, but also we have to really apply this pheromone technology. Pheromone technology is one of our CSIR labs called IICT, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology from Hyderabad. So they have come up with a number of success stories with respect to pheromone application technology. And apart from these success stories, as I already mentioned in one of my previous slides, cotton ball picking machine that has to be popularized, and it has to be certified also in the coming days. And so having said so far that where and all we are already working, and side by side I was telling that that has to be augmented further. Now I'll just tell you in the next 5 minutes what are the areas specifically in which potential collaborations could be planned both by ICAR and CSIR. So friends, the last 3-4 slides I will share with Himanshu Pathakji, so that that could be circulated to all the institutions, by means of which we can structure our upcoming discussions, and we can start coming up with the project design and development also. So I just first start with the wish list from agro processing, covering cereals, fruits and vegetables. So as I already mentioned, post-harvest processing to increase shelf life is very, very important. Value-added agri-food products we have to think about. Fortified rice, I already told. If at all we are able to come up with a very popular success story, we can even recommend it for public distribution system. Is it possible? Yes, it could be made possible. And we have to come up with the value-added millet products and processing, not only the product, but also the processing. And with respect to coconut, actually coconut again in India, in few places, it is abundantly available. For virgin coconut oil, now it is becoming more popular, and many people are really seeking for virgin coconut oil for many reasons. Then medium chain dry glyceride oil, dietary fiber, concentrated matured coconut water. So all these products could be concentrated by both the councils. Similarly, if you just take the case of banana, one of the labs like IMMT, they came up with the, because banana is known for its potassium rich content, even from the banana peel, they just came up with a success story, means a kind of a product which is rich with vitamin K. And so we can still have a lot of opportunities to think beyond. So banana grits as a healthy breakfast cereal also could be thought about. CFTRI is already working, and we can strengthen those ideas. And the last one is life cycle assessment and blockchain studies are very, very important, irrespective of the product as well as the material. And coming to processing, agro processing, here I'll be just touching upon the spices and natural products. So we have to come up with technologies for post-harvest value addition. We have to think about primary and secondary processing with respect to spice blends, essential oils, oleoresins, and nutraceuticals. Even though we have a phytopharma mission, which is led by IIIM Jammu, I think we have to think about nutraceuticals in a big way in the coming days. And ICAR can be a very, very major partner in that exercise also. And similarly, for black pepper to white pepper, the bioprocess has to be concentrated. And with respect to improved delivery system, for example, micro to nano encapsulates of curcumin. So like different products, I'm just giving 1 or 2 examples. If possible, we can even think about supercritical CO2 processing of spices, if possible. Then valorization of spent minerals from spice industries, starting from cumin, turmeric, ginger, and herbs. That also could be thought about by both the councils. And coming to dairy and meat products, again, here extension of shelf life is very, very important, whether it is meat or marine products. Similarly, novel strategies for storage and packaging of dairy as well as meat and marine products. And plant-based animal products also, like meat, cheese, yogurt, and milk, they are to be really given importance and trust. And we have to find out technologies to detect biogenic amines in fish and meat also. So these are the interests that has been already indicated by my CSIR family researchers. If you want to expand it and extend it to other areas, we are fully okay with whatever is your wish list. Similarly, in the case of machinery design, primary and secondary food processing machinery for its design and development should be thought about by both of us. Of course, its commercialization and marketing is the next phase. Similarly, AI-enabled automation in agriculture, including drones, should be thought about. I already said 4PI is one institute, Fourth Paradigm Institute, where they are working on AI-enabled automation in agriculture. Of course, coming to drones, this pesticide spraying as well as drug delivery through drones have been already governed by, or I would say that have been demonstrated by NAL, again, National Aerospace Laboratory, Bangalore. So we can start thinking in a bigger way about how best this drone technology could be utilized for agriculture. And improved food quality and safety aspects of agri products like milk testing kits, because I'm just putting it under machinery. Therefore, testing kits also should be now prioritized under design and development. Now, this is what I was telling, waste to wealth should be considered as a totally different project between both the councils, where we can just prioritize all these things. I'm just showcasing that whether it is a biodegradable composite to make cutlery or furniture or a kind of a rope or a mat, I'm just showing few examples. So biomass furniture could be thought about, and alternatives to single-use plastics in terms of bio-waste, especially agriculture-based waste, could be thought about. Binderless MDF boards could also be thought about. And of course, 2G bioethanol using agro residues as alternate fuel is another very, very important area. Fibers from banana, lotus, etc. have also been tried by CSIR family for different products, and you can also help us in the coming days. Similarly, friends, for agri-infra and related schemes, we have to think about incubation facility. So who could be offered this kind of an incubation facilities? We have to really encourage agri entrepreneurs and farmers to make use of the incubation facilities. Both the councils can come up with the establishment of incubation facilities starting from 2023. Then we have to absolutely, it is our commitment and it becomes our duty to train the entrepreneurs and farmers for their post-harvest management and related products. And IoT and AI-enabled technologies for crop monitoring should also be taken care by both the councils. And we have to give all other possible technical supports from time to time for the MSME sector also. So without even restricting ourselves only with the plant varieties, we should give and transfer technologies and know-how for products as well as processes. So my last two slides, I have tabulated even what and all we can think about. So if you just talk about the areas of collaboration, one is establishment of All India Coordinated Research Project on medicinal, aromatic, floricultural, and commercially important crops. That is one. Action plan I'm not going to read because anyway I'll be sharing the slide with you. Second one is a similar kind of AICARP centers on climate resilient agronomic practices, by means of which we will be able to understand long-term effect on soil health, because already I indicated that soil health should be prioritized by both the councils. And we have to come up with the NAGs for the conservation of rare, endangered, and threatened species and crops. We call it as red species and crops, because this comes under CSIR's mandate. And so whatever I'm giving at the left-hand side is our mandate areas. Therefore, definitely we'll be looking forward your help, your involvement, and complete handshaking and hand-holding in the coming days. So the fourth one is identification of institutions for the generation of quality planting materials. That is very, very important, because whenever we are talking about, we are coming up with the new innovations or new varieties which are getting introduced, unless otherwise we ensure that quality planting materials are being utilized by the farmers, definitely we cannot see the success story at all. Therefore, quality planting materials is another very important area for the promotion of captive cultivations. Again, we'll be looking forward the help from ICAR. And we have to disseminate the agrotechnology for the promotion of new crops and bioinsecticides, biofertilizers to improve the productivity and maintenance of soil health. And of course, as all of you know, we are having a dedicated program called ACSIR, Academy for the Scientific and Innovative Research, which is offering PhD program. So your council can send students and scientists for their PhD program in ACSIR. So CSIR institutes will be helping. They can work in both the institutes, and ACSIR will be offering PhD program for that. Meaning is ICAR should recognize ACSIR to offer PhD program to your scholars and your scientists and your employees. So if that is done, we are really ready to extend our helping hands to that. And the last one is, as I already told, joint R&D activities in whichever way it is possible, by means of which you and me, we should be in a position to help smallholders and women folk also. So this is my last slide. So left-hand side, I have given, these are the areas in which collaboration is existing, whether it is rice or cotton or seaweed or skill development or tobacco. Already it is existing. Whereas expecting is fortified rice, improved varieties of rice, then microbial resistant cotton, then sugarcane. I fondly recall, because when the Honorable Prime Minister was making a mention about sugarcane, Himanshu Pathakji came up with a kind of, even for bamboo also, bamboo and sugarcane, Himanshu Pathakji came up with the kind of improvements or the leads, technology leads which are available from ICAR. So from now onwards, we will start working in the field of sugarcane and being also. And as I already told, we have to devise a dedicated skill development model, which should be implemented from now onwards. Then GM tobacco, because Honorable Prime Minister made a very special mention, even though many times we preach that tobacco is carcinogenic and tobacco users are prone to cancer, sometimes the citizens, they are not taking it with enough involvement. Therefore, instead of sensitizing them for that, can we do something at the grassroots level, at the starting point itself? Even if they consume tobacco, they should not have any kind of a threat for cancer attack. Therefore, he was just throwing that question as a challenging question to both the councils. And therefore, now we have to take up that challenge. Can we come up with a kind of a GM tobacco, which will be offering some kind of maybe threat-free properties? We have to think about it. Then Honorable Prime Minister again made a mention about the value addition of castor oil. Here also both the councils should think and we have to have deep dive discussions. And of course, at the end of the day, both the councils should come up with the high value aromatic and medicinal plant products. For example, again, Honorable Prime Minister only gave the example of agar of Tripura. So taking that as the example, we have to now start thinking for the aromatic and medicinal plant products, which are to be identified from 2023 onwards. Again, friends, we are living in a very golden era, wherein it is not only Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan, it is Jai Vigyan and Jai Anusantan. Therefore, the government of India and the entire nation started celebrating not only farmers and scientists, but also the scientific research. Therefore, you and me, both the councils, we have to, you can just proceed. Both the councils, we have to start shaking hands and hand-holding each other. And we have to come up with a number of success stories, products, and devices in the coming days. And by all means, whenever the Honorable Prime Minister is making it as a message to CSIR, it is not the message given to only CSIR. Using CSIR as a platform, Honorable Prime Minister has shared his views, thoughts, and suggestions and ideas, but it becomes the commitment of entire research community. Therefore, both the councils should start thinking very strongly, very deeply in all the directions which were mentioned by the Honorable Prime Minister, by means of which you and me will come up with a number of success stories. Taking this opportunity, my appeal is, please take all the points very seriously and let us start discussing and working together. And thank you very much for the opportunity. Look forward to work with ICAR. Again, thanks to Himanshu ji for the wonderful opportunity. Namaskar.
Thank you very much, Madam. It is really, really an excellent presentation and a very
Thank you.
elaborate and also specific, action stronger. You very rightly mentioned the collaborations which already have, also very success stories on several counts, starting from rice and many others, and also CSIR mission, which also has several aspects of agriculture, including Aroma Mission, Floriculture Mission, Seaweed Mission, Cotton Mission, and also highlighting several of the potential areas, including education, including research and development, where both the councils can really come together. Several other potential areas, and your final summary tables I really liked, where you have summarized where when expand that particular area. This is a suggestive one, but the point what Madam mentioned today is that here you have been a successful one. We have traveled a long path together, but I think this is the time where we can really strengthen it, we can really enlarge it. And that is what not only Indian science requires, that is what the whole country requires. And that is what probably the whole world is also waiting when ICR and CSIR will be working together. And not only these two, even other recent science and technology departments, ICMR, DST, Earth Science, all of this. And this is the time when we all should come together. So, Madam, if you kindly agree, maybe for another 10-15 minutes, if some of my colleagues have got some specific suggestions to make, so probably we can have their suggestions.
Fine.
And you need not to respond immediately. Probably at the end, if you would like, you can respond collectively, all of them together. But let us listen what our friends have to say at this point of time.
Definitely.
Yeah. May I request IIRR Hyderabad, Dr. Sundaram?
Yeah. Madam, this is Raman Meenakshi Sundaram calling from ICR, Indian Institute of Rice Research. We have been, benefited through a long-term collaboration, which is continuing for the last 25 years with Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology. We developed several novel products, including improved Samba Masuri and improved versions of it, having, in addition to bacterial blight resistance, also salinity tolerance and then low soil phosphorus tolerance. These were recently released as jointly released as two varieties, DSIR 58 and 60. Madam, coming to potential collaborations, I would, in addition to fortified rice, which is an important area, biofortification is a program which is going on really well in ICR. And if CSIR can also join this particular area, wherein we have got significant gains, not only in rice, but also in other millets and other crops like wheat, it will be really nice. And another area wherein we can work together is on medicinal rices. There are certain traditional land races or land cultures of rice which have got medicinal properties, and they have been used since time immemorial for treatment of certain ailments. And if we can work together in this particular area, it will be mutually beneficial for both. I would like to submit this one. Thank you.
Yeah, I have noted down. As you said, I'll reserve my comments. I'll reserve my comments and I'll come towards the end. Yeah, I'm noting down. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Sundaram. Madam, just I want to add, just few days back, I made a presentation before Honorable Standing Committee of Parliament about biofortified crops. So not only rice, but on several other crops, including wheat, sugarcane, and particularly horticultural crops. We have got several varieties, and probably I shall send a copy of that presentation to you so that you will also get to know what exactly we are working with. May I request Dr. Ajit Sasni?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me this opportunity. It is nice to hear, madam. It is an excellent presentation. I'll go very brief. First of all, I will tell about the CSIR-ICAR success story, one of the small success story in Odisha, which came up recently in National Geographic channel. It's in the tribal district of Kalahandi. So ICR, here my institute and CIMAC, we have a sub-MOU under which we have worked together. And also the other one is Nabrangpur project. We are working together. And recently, I took the lead to develop one project for ICR Institute and CSR Institute in Koraput district. So we got around 2.5 crore of money from Koraput district, with where IIMR, maize research, our seed spice research, ICR seed spice research, and CIMAC and NIPB, all 4 institutes are involved. and I'll be looking after that particular project in the similar type of model. So we are collaborating in that way. These are the two stories. And third thing I will tell, sir, we have a AICRP on biotech crop. So here all the transgenic plant from CSR can be tested in future. So that's one thing of collaboration we can have. And fourth one, we have the genome editing group. If you can make a combined genome editing group in future, for I know 20 plants, ICR is working on 20 plants in different trades. And CSIR, there are around 8 to 9 plants. They're working on different trades, and some of them are overlapping. So we can make a combined group so that tax should be defined. So that is my submission. And another thing. Okay, sir.
Dr. Sasana, we have to
There are many things to
little so that so that we will be able to capture as many suggestions as possible. May Dr. S.B. Barbuddhe Sahab.
Yes, sir. But thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity, sir. Sir, we at Innovation Meet in Hyderabad. I have been working with CCMB Hyderabad on cultured meat. That already also we are collaborating with the Atal Incubation Center. Besides, sir, in December 2022, we have started one project on delignification of rice straw with IICT Hyderabad, and we'll with the hydrodynamic cavitation technology, we'll be finding the ways to use the rice straw, which is actually otherwise is burned in the farmer's field. So already we are working with with IICT Hyderabad, and we'll be helping them to try this in the male buffalo cows and other ruminants, whether this delignified rice straw can be used in an economic way. Thank you very much. This one wanted to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you very much. Very important. Dr. S.N. Jha, DDG Engineering, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Really, it was a very good presentation and time tested and also the business oriented. So thank you very much. Congratulations, madam. I am looking after engineering aspect, all the post-harvest mechanization, what you said. And really, I congratulate and acknowledge two big contributions in agricultural mechanization. One, you have already told the Sonalika tractor that is there, but the one you have missed, that a wild expressing machine, first time in 1960, designed by the Merado, was well taken by the industry. And the whole Ludhiana were fabricating that machinery for extracting the oil from our oil seeds. That also very good contribution. As you said, our wish list, we have 4 or 5 engineering institutes here, and they are vigorously working, and we are very much aware about the work being done in mechanization, farm machinery, and sensor technology, particularly related to agriculture in CSIR. But we have also established one department in one Ludhiana institute, one center of, you can say, precision agriculture in CIE, Bhopal. And newly we have renamed full-fledged institute on secondary agriculture, that is higher order of processing. Full institute will work only on waste to wealth, or you can say nutraceutical, pharmaceuticals, all those things. That is there. So here I need help from CSIR. Our engineers, our scientists here are not so capable of fabrication of electronic gadgets themselves in their lab. First model, you can say. So can the CSIR lab train our few scientists to develop the skill to fabricate, as our mechanical workshop we have. Similarly, we want some kind of mechanical fabrication, electronic workshop in our institute that can be established with the help of CSIR, and also training some of our scientists. We have electronic sciences, we have some mechanical, and majority of agricultural engineers. So that is one wish list that can be done, I think. And then one mission you have that with the Ayush, I request in the phytochemical, pharmaceutical country include our issue, that is secondary agriculture issue, National Institute of Secondary Agriculture, that is called DSIR. This institute will full-fledged work on that, and we can have a common project with them. And also that is the issue that Ayush project. Under cotton ball you have said that has not yet been, I think, my knowledge said that CSIR has not developed. They are trying. And many other, our institute are also trying. One company, private company is also trying. And 2 models are under test, we can say. This season also we are testing in Sirkot, Mumbai, and then Nagpur Institute. Whether they are working, so I will say that the group of
Dr. Jha, we have to be a little brief.
Just 3 minutes. Sir. And another important thing is that glycemic index machine is not there in India. Only Australia is supplying. Can CSIR work on that to develop a glycemic index determination machine? And then similarly, most common, a spectrometer. I'm speaking to CSIR since maybe 20 years to develop the NIR-IR-based spectrometer in India. And CSIO, MTech, I have worked with CSIO many times, but not that a spectrometer yet had come. If that will be coming, then that will work as a magic box for every Indian agriculture. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Okay, Dr. Jha. Madam, when I was listening to our scientists, and particularly Dr. Jha, I was feeling that probably there are several other success stories of CSIR-ICAR collaboration, which are not so known to others. So I would propose, if you kindly agree, that let us come out with a small publication, success stories of CSIR-ICAR collaboration so far, and then of course way forward, whatever the areas which you are discussing. So really, that could be a small, say, booklet or book around 50-60 pages. That will be a compilation of all the success stories which we had together in the past, and also maybe a few pages at the end, what are the potential areas on which we are going to collaborate. So from your Jha as the nodal person for CSIR and ICAR collaboration, and then let us start working together. So maybe in a month's time or 2 months' time, we will be able to come out with that publication, and which will be very happy to give a copy to our Honorable Prime Minister also. He will be really happy to see what kind of collaborations we have been making in the past and what we are thinking. So this is just a suggestion you can think over, and then of course we shall again get back to you. May I now go to IIHR, Bangalore?
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. This had been an excellent presentation, because what Madam had covered is a diversity of crop on horticulture, which has got the largest number of crops. Ma'am, some of the points which came to my mind, it was regarding the aromatherapy and nutraceuticals of the horticulture crops, what you had listed. Immense role in playing it in the human health and also the nutrition. So the exact basis of it, where we can have some collaborations. Apart from that, use of AI and machine learning, where you are having the expertise. So there we can have a collaboration for the forewarning system, because large area is under the plantation crops, horticulture crops, despite, what we are talking about, the agronomic crops. So there we can have the exchange of the scientists and the students even, where we can have an edge over. Similarly, for biosensors, smart packaging, where the West is moving fast. So we have to design our packages for different value-added products, and especially for the new convenience food, where you have pointed out that, but we have to work more in that area. Of course, we have to have more collaboration in microbial technology, especially for the biopesticides, and we have made a lot of headway there. But I think we need to collaborate more in some of, when we're talking about the natural farming system, where the waste conversion, that need to be more efficient, more faster, so that self-sustaining models can be developed and given to the farmers too. And one area, sir, where I'd like to have, it is on the botanicals, where we have a strength. NBRI and also the CSIR, other labs, where need to be popularized in the agri production or horticulture production systems, which will be locally available and which can be used. So those ITKs can be, we have the verification, but popularization and the exact function which can be used to bring down the cost of production. These are some of my suggestions. Thank you for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. Thank you, Dr. Singh. Madam, this is Indian Institute of Horticulture Research, and Dr. Singh is currently the director of that particular institute. May I now request our Anand Institute, Directorate of Medicinal Aromatic Plants.
Sir, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity. Sir, we have successfully worked with several CSIR laboratories for development of products under NSF projects and other CRP projects. Sir, we are also have a All India Coordinated Research Project on medicinal and aromatic plants. And recently, sir, under this project, we have identified a line developed by CSIR NBRI, which is rich in thiamine. In addition to the morphine, codeine, it is rich in thiamine, sir. Sir, under that AICRP, we are also working on aromatic grasses. And
Dr. Saab, you have to be really brief. Just only 1 or 2 points, if you can summarize.
Yes, sir. Sir, Madam has highlighted that can we find any crop, aromatic crop like agar? Sir, under AICRP already we have identified Sugandh Mantri as a potential crop for the matching of the agar, and we have producing the planting material at AICRP center at Arunachal Pradesh, Pasighat, sir. And sir, we have also very high value aromatic crops, sir. And sir, it is my submission that if ICR, Directorate of Medicinal Aromatic Plants, could be associated in Aroma Mission phase 3, sir, because phase 3 is going to be started, phase 2 is going to be completed, sir. And regarding, sir, formulation development, also we have expertise. So if ICR DMAPR could be accommodated in phytopharmaceutical mission, that would be for a great favor to.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Saab, thank you. Thank you very much. These are very useful suggestions which we have made. Over to Kajri, Dr. Yadav.
Thank you very much, sir. My specific point to Madam is regarding one important industrial crop that is grown in arid areas, and that's the cluster bean. Our whole ICR is putting a lot of efforts to improve that crop genetically. But so far we have not been able to capture the heritable genetic differences in extraction of the guar gum from this very important industrial crop. It's a business of several thousand crores. There is a urgent need to really find out a process by which we can basically recover the higher amount of the gum from this cluster bean seed. If this can be done, that can be a game changing for this crop of the Rajasthan areas. And India is basically having a monopoly, producing more than 80% of the cluster bean gum. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Yadav. This is really important and very specific activity which we should take up. May I go to AKMU NRCO? Dr. Das, NRC Orchid.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, as you are aware that orchids are medicinally also very important, sir. If there can be any collaborative work for exploring the medicinal importance of orchids, so that will be a really good opportunity.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Very good, Dr. Saab. I think this is another important area. May I request Dr. P.K. Singh now, Agriculture Commissioner?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Actually, the problem what we are facing, sir, that we want to collaborate with the CSIR in many of the issues, and we are going in for one-to-one dialogue between the institutes. So, for example, agar we are going in for a very big mega project of around 1,000 crores in next 5 years. So, but we don't know the strengths where we can collaborate with CSIR in that way, which institutes we have to collaborate, what they are going to, how they are going to help. Similarly, for testing of biostimulants, we are giving projects to some of their institute in, say, NBRI, we are in discussion with them. Then in Bhavnagar, we are in, they have submitted a project like that. So actually for that seaweed kind of stimulants, how they are going to test, what will be the protocol and all that, those things we have to go in for one-to-one dialogue, and we have to search. Yes. We have to. So if Madam can prepare a list of the strengths, what institutes can give us, how they are going to collaborate with us. So that will be a very easy solution for us, that whatever projects we are coming up. So we can then easily coordinate with them and then get their help in that. So that can be a.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, I think this is of course today was a generalized one, and then suddenly we'll be discussing one-to-one and also scientist to scientist also whenever we shall go for implementing a particular project. And of course, whenever there is funding opportunity from your side, you please let us know. CSIR, ICAR, and others also will come together to meet you, and then we shall explore how the things can be done. Division of Environmental Sciences, IRI.
Thank you, sir. Madam, it was regarding your mention of opportunities and desired collaboration between ICAR and CSIR in the well. I would just like to mention that we are getting into institute. You put them and hopefully the class in this will be building up future, madam. Thank you, Sir Dr. Bhupender Singh, Professor of Environment Science.
Thank you, Dr. Bhupender Singh ji. Thank you very much. May I request Dr. S.K. Malhotra, sir, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. One short point, sir. In fact, Indian Council of Agriculture Research is having a strong setup of AICRP. 71 AICRPs are there. So a lot of technology CSIR has also developed, and here agroclimatic zones, they play the greater role. So they should get their technologies tested through this AICRP platform. They should utilize the benefit. They should take benefit of this platform where multi-location testing is done across the environments as well as over the years. So that's one suggestion. Another point, sir. As CSIR has National Institute for Science, Communication and Information Resources. We also have, ICAR also has Directorate of Knowledge Management in Agriculture. So we need to work together for new knowledge management, for working out, for development of the new knowledge management tools. We need to work together, and we should, with the help of NESPIR, we can have some collaborative programs. Sir, that's all, sir.
Very good, Dr. Malhotra. Actually, I have already noted down this particular point. How CS, Dr. Sushil, over to you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you so much for excellent presentation. Today only I came to know that there is an institute at Bangalore. That's a CSIR 4th Paradigm Institute, which is just adjacent to us, and they are working on the drone technology. So, ma'am, we are actually facing problem of rugose whitefly in coconut, where we actually wanted to apply biopesticides and also some of the bioagents. And we are buying 2 drones. We were just looking for some collaboration, but now we definitely will have the collaboration with this PI, 4th PI Institute for the application of the biopesticides and also the bioagents in the coconut ecosystem.
Okay, Dr. Sushil, thank you very much. We shall take only 2 or 3 more, and then we shall request Madam to respond, if possible, to some of those at least, or maybe our general observations. May I request our ADG NRM, Dr. Vel Murugan?
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you, madam, for nice presentation. Sir, I have only 2 suggestions. One is, sir, we are doing a lot of work on microbial and useful microorganism, and also we are having analytical good facility. So I also understand CSR having a very good facility on PCR and other advanced microbial testing for on animals and other things. So we can come out with a good product if some of the laboratories and these kind of facilities are open up for ICAR for collaboration on a free fixed rate or some other mutual agreed, so that it will avoid individual institute to enter into MOU, sir. So that way some microbial product can come out. And the second would be on saline water and water technology. So ICAR working on CSR is working on water itself, and ICAR is working on water-based technology. So if we combine this, it will be a very good opportunity for the farmer and other stakeholders to benefit. So we look forward working with CSR on saline water management.
Thank you, Dr. Velmurugan. Thank you very much. And Dr. Narsaya.
One supplement. Thank you, sir. only briefly, I want to make one area of synergy is like smart materials for agriculture structures so that we can bring in climate resilience. So that is one area where we have synergy with the CSIR labs. We can work agriculture structures, smart materials, building materials, smart building materials. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. I think the last one, Dr. Yadav from Kajri, again, I think raised hand. Dr. Yadav, do you have any specific point to make?
Sir, I am Dr. Patil from Kajri. Sir,
okay, Dr. Patil, please.
Sir, my previous experience of working with CSIR, especially the NIRI Institute in Nagpur, actually we could identify some process by which actually we can use the microbes which are in the camel for biofuel production. So such programs possibly from the arid region, animals could be taken up for biofuel production.
Very good, Dr. Patil. Quickly to Dr. Prasad, our Floriculture Directorate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, madam, for the excellent presentation. Ma'am, there is a need to replace synthetic colors and synthetic aromas and fragrances. We are consuming a great quantity of these colors and also the aromatic principles which are synthetic in nature. We can work together in floriculture crops because they are rich in nutraceutical pigments and natural flavors and fragrances. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. And finally, madam, let us go to our Fisheries Institute, CIFRI, Central Inland Fisheries Research Institute in Barakpur, West Bengal. So over to CIFRI, please.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. This is Dr. Sao, Senior Scientist from CIFRI. Sir,
yes, Dr. Sao.
Yeah, sir. We are working on the open water fisheries, particularly on the environment, rivers and reservoirs. So with NERI also working in that particularly environmental impact assessment. So a joint collaboration with CIFRI and NERI would be very fruitful. So I urge that, sir. My request.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sao. Thank you very much. So, madam, of course, there could be many other suggestions and observations, but we cannot continue for long. But my request to all my colleagues will be, if still you have got some suggestions, you please send us your queries or questions or suggestions, which we shall try to compile at some point of time. And then when we are going to develop our program with CSIR, with our nodal scientist, we shall take note of all of your suggestions. So please feel free to send your comments, observations. And now I request, madam, for your observations, your suggestions, maybe very briefly. I know that we cannot respond to each and every query, but briefly, if you can give your response.
Yeah, I have noted down at least a few points. Like, let me start from biofortification. So I'm glad to note that ICAR will be helping us in rice, wheat, millet, and even biofortified crops also, because you will be soon sharing the document with us so that the biofortified crops where and all CSIR can work with you, we will come up with the kind of a suggestion. That is one point that I have noted down. And I'm really excited to note the kind of Gorakhpur district-based maize research that was mentioned. I think I'll ask my ASIMAP group also to strengthen that one further. Then Hyderabad group is again very active through their meat-related, waste-to-wealth-related and Atal tinkering labs-related activities. And we will continue to work there. And engineering aspects, I think for me, it is a news that there is a secondary, because it is, I'm not aware of that one to that extent, that secondary agricultural institute is doing very many work under waste to wealth. And there actually, he just shared especially the mechanical and electronic workshop for its establishment and training. Definitely CSIR will help you the way you want it. Similarly, with Ayush, CSIR and ICAR, Secondary Agricultural Institute, we can really play a major role. He was talking about even gasification machine and this cotton ball picking machine related thing. So in those two areas, we can have specific focused discussions. Maybe the respective core group scientists will be asked to have discussions with your group. And I think I will make a point in that one also. And of course, last one, someone talked about this arid region animal utilization. That is also very catchy for me. And similarly, the synthetic colors and could be really replaced with the nutraceutical pigments and natural products. Definitely, we'll think about it. And of course, someone was talking about the drone technology. It is not at fourth PI, fourth Paradigm Institute. Drone technology is, you have to approach only NAL. I will just make the group to one Dr. Satya Narayana. Dr. Satya Narayana from NAL Bangalore is only familiar with the drone technology. AI and ML driven agri-related things are only being handled by fourth Paradigm Institute. So anything related to drone, you should really talk to one Dr. Satya Narayana of NAL. And of course, biostimulants and environmental science related activities and microbial testing on charged basis, all these points I have noted down. And very interestingly, you have touched upon the medicinal products, industrial crop products, as well as biostimulants. The last one was very interesting, that CSIR should use AI-CRP testing platform. Yes, I will just make it as an internal advisory note to all the labs that they should make use of that one. And when he talked about the knowledge management tools, he wants to work closely with the NISPER. Tomorrow, NISPER Foundation Day is there. I am visiting NISPER. Definitely, I will, without disappointing you, tomorrow itself, I talk to Dr. Ranjana Agarwal, the director of NISPER, and I will tell her that ICAR is interested, especially on the knowledge management tools. And of course, fisheries, you shared your wish list, like environment impact analysis, which you are doing with NIRI. We will continue to do with that. I think these are the few points, and I'm very much interested and very much, I would say, impressed when the Agricultural Commissioner made two very important suggestions. One is
you, sir, DSIR and Secretary DSIR, sir, it is your idea and your vision and your initiative. So thank you very much for guiding us, for making such collaborations and discussions. I'm thankful to all the Secretary ICR, Additional Secretary DR, FA, all the esteemed DDGs, all the director of ICR institutes, Ataris, KVKs, all the scientific personnel of different universities, central universities, state agriculture universities, and I believe some other institutes are also participating, non-ICR institutes. National Academy of Agricultural Sciences is there with us. They are invited. So everybody, we on behalf of ICR, on behalf of the Honorable DG and myself, we are very much thankful to all of you for participating and making us lively the discussions. All the scientists or directors who put questions or view. We know that it is a very small part of the collaboration going on, but it is a symbol only. And DG sir has already thought of to make a collaboration bigger way. And he has nominated Dr. Jha as the nodal person for this collaboration. So we'll take the collaboration in a very, very bigger way. I'm not naming many more people. All the participants whom I've missed by naming, thank you everybody for making it a very meaningful participation and discussion. End of the day, again, madam, thank you again profusely for making this day a great day for, and I'm sure future will be much better collaboration. We are already collaborating, but things will be much, much bigger. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ji.
Thank you all.